So what is up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning back in. I had this awesome lens in the mail today, and I want to show you how you will get this onto your camera, because as you might see, there is nothing to fix it onto the lens. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. So guys, welcome back. This was in the mail today, and it is quite a special lens. It is a projector lens from a Russian dia projector, and it has a really special focal length. So let's show you that. I hope you can see it. It says it right there. It's 120 millimeter, and it's an f1.8 at 120 millimeter, and it's full frame. So really awesome lens. It's called the K0 120M. So it's really a special lens, and yes, I've bought it on eBay. I've searched for it for years because they are quite rare. And today I want to show you how I'm going to fix this onto my camera, onto my A7. So as you might see, this is just the projector lens. It has no mounting points whatsoever. That's because it was fixed in right here. I hope you can see that. There are scrapings on the lens where it was rotated in inward and outward, so it went in like so. And yes, so the goal of today is I want to show you how to mount such lenses to your camera using a 3D printer. So let's go on with this process. So let's do the theory first. So here we have my A7, and I want to put the lens onto it, and I want to focus it. So how does focusing work? In the olden days it was quite a simple thing to focus something, and that was to move it further away or nearer to the sensor or to the film. This is the way that those projector lenses were made to work, and the same effect is the way we gonna try to focus it. So we're gonna need two things. One is an adapter. I have this one right here. This is 3D printed and I've designed it myself. This works with the A7. So now the next thing that we need is we need to measure out the distance between the adapter and the lens, which makes it go to infinity, because the important part is that you get the nearest point right. The nearest point is infinity, or should be infinity. So if you get this distance right, then you can pull the lens out and you get near focusing also. So this is the distance, this should be the theory. Let's do the practical part. So now I have all the parts ready. I have a window to that side where I can hit infinity, because there are a few trees in the distance which I can focus on. So let's start this up. First thing to do is, of course, remove the lens caps. Then you put in this my adapter, which I have in CAT, and put it onto the camera, like so. Then you put the camera into the automatic mode so that you don't have to think about the ISO and stuff like that. Then you start the camera up, I tilt the screen a bit, and then I lay the lens down. And now, the important bit is to have a look through the lens and have a look if you get something in focus. There we go. Shouldn't be that far away, so it's a really close thing to do. So now that we have the right measurements, let's start making the model. And we're going to do this in the free program of SketchUp. I normally use other programs like NX and stuff like that, but for this video I want to do it in the free program, so let's use SketchUp to do this. I will speed this process up so that you can have a look at how I do it. It's not about the direct way to do it, it's just I will speed this up. It's not the time to teach you how to make those programs work. You have to teach that to yourself. So we now have finished the adapter. So in the next step we want to put it into the slicer. The slicer is the part that sits between the creation part and the printing part, because it is the way the printer knows what to do with the 3D file. So we are in Cura right now, and the first thing to do is we want to open the file that we've just created, and I'm going to load it in from the side in a second. There we have it. This is the adapter we have just created, and now we have to put in the right parameters to print it. So the first thing to do is I want to orientate it around 180 degrees, like so, because that makes it easier to print. On the quality side, I want to print it with 0.2 millimeter layer height, so that's the slices, the height of the slices. I like my walls to be a little bit thicker. I make them 4 ball line counts. That's because if I have to file a bit away, it's easier, because then I'm not in the infill. Yes, from the infill point, 50% should make it quite sturdy. I have to do it like that because it is a really hefty lens. And now let's have a look. Support. We're gonna need support for the upper part right here, so that it can hold on. Let's have a look where support is created. Yeah, so we have support on the inside quite a bit, which in my thinking is unnecessary, but yeah. And we have support up here, which is necessary. So this support should make quite a bit of time if I put it out. We are at 10 hours and 10 minutes. If I put it away, we are at, oh, so it's 2 hours for the support, but we will need it. It's a pity, but what can you do? So now the printing fun begins. So we can save the file and then output it to the printer. So this is something like 15 hours later. The print went on for I think 10.5 hours, but the SD card of my time-lapse camera was full, so you might see just half of the print, but should be alright. There we have it. You can see the support material in the inside, and the next step will be to remove this support and have a look if the adapter works right. So guys, sorry for the mess, but yeah, not much time at the moment, so let's clean up this mess. So the support material went out nicely. The print looks decently good. We had a bit of a lift right here on this edge. So the adhesion to the build plate wasn't good, but it shouldn't affect the print. So let's have a look if the lens goes right into the holder. Yeah. Nice. So you can see this is perfect because we have a bit of friction so that the lens won't fall out, but it is still nicely movable. So this lens should be ready to focus. So next thing will be to test it on the Sony A7, and I will show you this right with the camera, and then we will have to look at if we can reach infinity. So that will be the next step. So you are now on 50mm, which is the standard focal length I film with. And now I will switch on to the next lens, so you will see this the focusing of this lens. So have a look at the house in the distance. This is what the 50mm looks like at infinity, and we will now focus on the house. So let's switch the lens. So now we are at the most, it is now focused.